The year is 1945. The world is engulfed in the flames of World War II, but in this alternate timeline, the balance of power is about to shift dramatically. The race for the ultimate weapon is not won by the United States, but by Imperial Japan. Imagine a world where the horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are visited upon American soil. This is the terrifying possibility we will explore. The development of nuclear weapons was a closely guarded secret, a race against time. In our timeline, the Manhattan Project, spearheaded by the brilliance of minds like Oppenheimer and Einstein, gave the United States a decisive advantage. But what if history had taken a different turn? Imagine a scenario where Japan, driven by militaristic ambition and desperate to break the Allied stranglehold, poured its resources into a clandestine nuclear program. Fueled by national pride and a sense of existential threat, their scientists worked tirelessly, driven by the dream of a weapon that could turn the tide of war. Japan's nuclear ambitions were not born overnight. Seeds of this deadly pursuit were sown years earlier, in the laboratories and classrooms of brilliant, if misguided minds. Physicists like Hantaro Nagaoka, known for his early model of the atom, laid the theoretical groundwork. Political will, fueled by a potent mix of national pride and paranoia, provided the impetus. The military elite, intoxicated by dreams of empire, saw in this potential weapon a way to shatter the growing might of the United States. Resources were diverted, scientists recruited, and facilities built in secrecy. The program, codenamed Project Nigo, unfolded in the shadow of Mount Fuji. Here, shielded by secrecy and volcanic rock, a team of physicists, chemists, and engineers raced against time. Their efforts were aided by captured Allied intelligence and fueled by a potent cocktail of fear and fanaticism. The challenges were immense, the resources scarce. Yet, driven by a potent mix of desperation and nationalistic zeal, the Japanese scientists made a breakthrough. In the summer of 1945, months before the Trinity test in New Mexico, they achieved a successful nuclear detonation. The world, however, remained oblivious to the terrifying new reality. The initial target was not the continental United States but a strategic target closer to home, the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The date, August 6, 1945, a day that would forever be etched in infamy. A lone bomber, modified to carry the heavy atomic device, took off under the cover of darkness. The crew, aware of the gravity of their mission, flew towards their target, their minds filled with a mixture of fanaticism and fear. The bomb, codenamed Amaterasu after the Japanese sun goddess, detonated over Pearl Harbor with the force of 20,000 tons of TNT. The devastation was instantaneous and complete. The once mighty battleships were reduced to molten hulks. Thousands perished in the searing heat and radioactive fire. News of the attack sent shockwaves across the globe. The United States, caught completely off guard, reeled from the unprecedented attack. The initial confusion quickly gave way to outrage and a burning desire for revenge. Section 4. Retaliation or ruin, America's impossible choice. The United States found itself at a crossroads. The nation, still recovering from the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor 4 years earlier, now faced an enemy armed with a weapon of unimaginable destructive power. The very existence of the United States was at stake. President Truman, thrust into the role of wartime leader, faced an impossible choice: retaliate with conventional weapons, risking further nuclear attacks, or seek a negotiated settlement from a position of unprecedented weakness. Public opinion clamored for revenge, for an immediate and overwhelming response. But cooler heads within the government, along with scientists who understood the terrifying power of the atomic bomb, urged caution. The specter of a nuclear exchange, a terrifying dance of annihilation, loomed large. The world watched with bated breath. The delicate balance of global power had shifted overnight. The United States, once seen as invincible, was now vulnerable, its industrial heartland exposed to the terrifying reach of the atomic bomb. Section 5. The Empire Strikes Back. Emboldened by their success at Pearl Harbor, the Japanese military pressed its advantage. Within weeks, a second atomic bomb, this one even more powerful than the first, was dropped on the west coast of the United States, the target, the city of Los Angeles. The devastation was even more horrific than at Pearl Harbor. The bustling metropolis, a symbol of American prosperity and dreams, was reduced to rubble. Hundreds of thousands perished in the blink of an eye, incinerated in the blinding flash or choked by the radioactive fallout. The psychological impact on the United States was profound. The nation, once confident and optimistic, now faced a terrifying new reality. The enemy, once considered inferior, had struck at the very heart of America, unleashing a weapon of unimaginable power. The Japanese government, riding a wave of nationalist fervor, declared that the bombings were just retribution for American aggression in the Pacific. They threatened further attacks on American cities unless the United States agreed to an unconditional surrender. Section 6. A world remade in atomic fire. The world watched in horror as the two superpowers teetered on the brink of an apocalyptic war. The bombings of Pearl Harbor and Los Angeles had shattered the old world order, ushering in a terrifying new era, the atomic age. The United Nations, recently formed with the noble goal of preventing future wars, found itself powerless to stop the escalating conflict. The Security Council, deeply divided, could only issue condemnations and pleas for restraint. Fear and uncertainty gripped the globe. The unimaginable had become reality. The destructive power of the atom, once confined to the realm of theoretical physics, had been unleashed with devastating consequences. The world held its breath, waiting to see if the United States would retaliate in kind, igniting a global nuclear holocaust, or if a way could be found to pull humanity back from the brink of self-destruction. The fate of civilization hung precariously in the balance.